the last podcast, we talked about the new book, but we're going to go deeper into the new book. What's the new book and when is it coming out? Very soon, right?
Very soon. I'm very excited. We've had a few bumps in the road, and I think today I can honestly say no more bumps. It's been repaved, and it's going to be smooth from here on out. But yeah, it should be ready. I'd like to do a thing where you can buy the book if you want from Mina Valentine, as well as getting it through Amazon. We'll talk about the particulars once I get that better pinned down. But I think it would be an advantage for any of my readers to buy it from me at our www.minavalentine.com.
Exactly. Being able to buy the book there. That's pretty exciting news, Mina.
Yes,
And but talk about the book now.
the book is it's the Marquis craves his wife, and if you've been reading my book, you know that there's four gentlemen that have become very close. They're very bonded. They call themselves four horsemen, and there was some difficulty in book three with a woman that they were trying to save. Well, Henry, who is the star of book four, he says, okay, I've helped all of you, and now I'm going back to London to find my love and sweep her off her feet. And he goes back to London and he can't find her. Nobody knows where she is. And it looks like she's disappeared under nefarious means. And the culprit points to her own mother. So it's difficult for Helen, who is the love interest. It's really difficult for her, but she's smart and she's self-reliant, and she's in a really bad situation with some other people, and they're all trying to figure out how to escape. So finally, Henry finds her, and there's another whole set of issues that have to be addressed in order for them to finally come together as a couple.
Wow. Okay. I mean, and I think this one's a little bit more difficult for people, so they have to be ready, right?
Every book is independent, but it certainly helps if you've followed the characters through book one all the way to four. It just enhances your understanding of the situation, I think. And they're really good books, if I do say so myself.
So let's talk about just a little bit more about book four. Now, let's kind of compare the four horsemen together and then maybe talk about the four maidens, like the differences of each one. Like if you would see them in a room, talk about the men and then the women.
If you saw the four of them together, the first person you would notice would be Martin, and he's tall, he's large, he's not fat, he's just a tall, masculine man. He's rather stoic. He goes to the balls, but he doesn't dance. And his friend John is the same way. And he says, why should I dance with somebody I don't care about? But Frederick and Henry are very gregarious. They'll dance with anybody. They laugh and have a good time. So they kind of coax Martin and John into getting out and cutting up, as it were. Yeah, they have a really good time. John has his issues with the woman that he's in love with, And of course, that all works out. But the woman with John, was never raised in London, doesn't know anybody, has never been around men. So there's a lot of problems for her. They get that rectified. Um, and then there's poor Henry. And they're all good looking men, and they're all they like fencing. They are amateur pugilists. So they stay in shape. And the women are really attracted to the men. During this era, men would wear corsets and pad their shoulders and their ankles, their calves, not their ankles, to make them look um, like, well, to have a nice physique. Um, but it had to be disappointing when a man started to take his clothes off. No, the shoulders are gone now, and the stomach is hanging out, and no, and the skinny legs. But these four gentlemen did not have to do any of that.
All right, now let's go through the women.
Oh, Muriel is petite and very curvaceous, buxom, um, nice round bum, and she's really smart, but she talks in riddles sometimes. She thinks she doesn't think in a continuum like most people do. She might say, but he always had false teeth. And you look at her and go, who? Well, don't you remember we were talking about Sir blah, blah, blah? That was a week ago. But that's how her brain works. Um, and she's Martin. He's the mountain, and he falls in love with her. I mean, she's a tiny, petite, buxom woman, and he's this big mountain of a man. So they make a strange-looking couple. But he's madly in love with her. Fell in love with her the moment he saw her. So that's Muriel. She's a beautiful thing. And then Margaret, who is average height, and she's also buxom, but she's got dark hair and emerald eyes, and she's got a good sense of humor. She's funny, and that's why she and Fred hit off so well. They just kind of spark. They feed off of each other. They're both friendly, outgoing, um, and she's pretty too. And then Helen is very backward, shy, quiet, smart, really into nature. In fact, she would go to some of the balls and decorate her gowns with pieces of the nature, like leaves, or so just. And they finally talk her out of doing that and take her to a modiste, and then all of a sudden people notice her, so that's good. And then John it gets involved with a woman by the name of Stevie. Um, and she was raised by a woman that owned a boarding school for girls. And they're all, she's never been around men, never been around any men. And so she doesn't know how to act. And so all of a sudden she's in society. She all of a sudden has a father and a man that she's interested in, that is trying to stay away from her. So it makes for an interesting book. So
Well,
I
yeah,
think I think anybody that's into historical romance is really going to enjoy these books.
absolutely. All right. So the best place to go is minavalentine.com. Be ready. Once the book is out, it will be available to purchase and get an autographed copy from Mina Valentine herself. And then I guess we can already start looking to have the autographed copies ready for the any of the books right now. Let's give it about a couple days. Appreciate it, Mina.
Thank you. Have a
That
good
was the
one.
special. You too.